Hello everyone, this is Korekiyo Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. In the last episode we started off the third trial of the game and we were still kind of really confused honestly about who killed Angie and Tenko. Right now we were focusing on Tenko's death, even though the only one that's gonna count in the end will be Angie's. But yeah, there's a lot going on, and I'm still really suspicious of certain people, but also really confused about the methods. So let's just continue. I hope I'm able to figure this one out. I mean, some of it seems really obvious, but then other parts I'm like, well, that's weird. Alright, so if you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery. Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. Yeah, that sound. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery. Okay, sound during seance.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance? There is something that bothers me.
Okay.
The fact that the seance failed.
Oh, dude, let it
The
go.
ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
It was not that pretty.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there. I mean, it was totally pitch black. My
What?
job was to relight the candles.
Somebody mentioned somebody being
Moving
naked.
along the walls was seriously tough.
It was pitch black during the seance. That limits what could have happened. Just stay calm. Think. There must be some kind of clue.
Did
Okay, we're
anything seem out of the
agreeing?
ordinary?
No, I just missed it. What?
Fall.
No! F you! No. Finally! Fuck you! You know how I had to do that, guys? That was freaking ridiculous.
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
I had to freaking aim where I knew it was gonna fall. I had to aim at nothing, basically. And then it just happened to hit. I'm like, what the frick? I had to do that 3 freaking times. Oh my lord. The fact that everything's constantly moving, it's like really annoying. I need to check. So for the next trial, I need to find out, is there like one of those perks or skills or whatever that will help me with this? Because that's been my ¡1 issue with this game whenever I get to the trials, is actually hitting the stuff. Even though I'm perfectly aiming at it, it will suddenly move or be off just like a slight pixel, and then I won't get it. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, it's so frustrating. I tried it with the mouse to see if that would help. No, didn't matter. Dios mío. Okay. Got through that somehow. Shoot. Triggered. Yep. And then they just kept going.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard.
Yeah, but the statue was still on top of the cage, so I'm still like, what the heck happened?
What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
No?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Did somebody trip and fall? It sounded even louder than that, though. A loud sound, like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. A lot happened in the dark, but I'm gonna guess he's talking about the other drastic change, which is the loose floorboard, I think?
This is it!
Okay.
I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound.
Yeah, so did something hit the floorboard from below?
That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Could the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
Yeah.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly be? Possible be. Typo.
All right then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Okay.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Does this have to do with the cross
Judging
piece?
from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That
That
image.
wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
No.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Yep.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboards.
Stomped?
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and Balls are the best of friends?
Oh my god, Miyu. Why are you so proud of that? What would have made a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose? Now, there was blood under there, under the floorboards, but I don't think somebody could have handled hitting their head that hard to make that sound. So the only other thing that made sense was the stomping part. If I think about everyone's testimony and combine it with the facts.
So what made the floor...
No, it should have hit that!
Must have stomped through the floorboard.
I agree.
Alright, there we go. And Kokichi's like, yeah, of course you agree with me, right, Chuchi Bay? I'm like, shut up, Kokichi.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation,
Yeah.
one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut
So
off.
because of that, all they have to do is stomp on it to make it move.
After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
And it was done in the second room too,
Someone?
right?
You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
What did they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the cross piece in the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard, and the cross piece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. Wait a second. That almost looks like, you know, that kind of, So if they were to stomp on it full force, it would move her? Like if they were strong enough, they could lift her body? And the whole cage and everything? Or... But they would have to be up there doing the ritual. But then how did she get stabbed from below? I'm so confused still. But that looks a lot like, God, I can't remember the name of this, thing you used to play on a playground. A seesaw. That's what it looks like. Oh my god. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. of the cross pieces was cut. The other two were intact. Okay. Okay, I didn't think... I thought she was a little bigger in the cage, but it looks like the cage was bigger than I thought. One of them was right under Tenko, and the other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? I don't know. I'm confused still. What would lifting her accomplish? Think. Come on, think. Come on, game. Don't do this to me. It is seesaw. Another E. Seesaw. W. Seesaw what? Like seesaw. E. Seesaw. Oh, seesaw effect. What the hell? Why did it have to be seesaw effect? Why did it have to be effect? Whatever.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Huh? A seesaw?
Okay, my game keeps frickin' stuttering. Which I don't appreciate. Please stop.
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece,
Then it lifts her up.
the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever.
Okay, I was imagining just one foot stomping. But yeah, that would explain... Yeah, they would need more weight in order to lift her completely, so... My lord, that looks so dangerous and super loud. No wonder that sound happened. Huh. So wait, all they had to do is look and see whose the magic circle was messed up by whoever was standing there, right? Isn't that the best way to prove it? But her going up, what was the point of that?
A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
I'm surprised. I guess she didn't even have time to scream. I would have freaked out at suddenly being moved like that.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
Yes, please explain, Mr. Detective.
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
Yeah, but how?
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Only way would have been if the sickle was like, I don't know, glued to the bottom of the cage or something, but we would have seen that.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
Right. The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Where was the sickle when she was killed? It has to be in the cage itself, the top of the cage?
That's it!
But how? How did we not see that?
The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down.
I don't understand.
The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage.
But no, how?
Also, The wooden statue kept the blade in place.
Like, where's the actual staff of the blade, though?
It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over.
Then how did it end up down there afterward?
Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage.
Ooh,
She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
what a hassle to go through to kill someone. Jeez.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim.
Okay, the only thing I can think of is that when Korekiyo went to put the white sheet, he somehow put the sickle at the same time. But seriously, I'm guessing he hid it under his clothes, but how did nobody notice him making extra movements than just putting the sheet on? You know? Huh.
That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
I'm still thinking it's him at this point.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
It is crazy.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
I've never heard of a seesaw homicide before. It's certainly inventive.
Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
Yep.
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know?
People are so creative in this game.
They can't get away with murder
Oh,
the
no.
normal way, so they gotta think outside the box.
Stop making that face, dude.
Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
And he's like, and it's totally me, by the way. I'm giving myself kudos. We're like, Kokichi, we know you're lying. Shut up.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Oh, come on. The fact that you're pointing the finger at her again feels very much like something a culprit would do. You know, during the trial, they always end up sticking out more because they start pointing fingers at everybody else.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
That laugh sounded different, too.
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
What's your excuse gonna be?
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
Yes, which you did.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean? Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room.
Oh, he's gonna say because she chose the room, which was the middle room. But come on, it was obvious that that's the one that was gonna be chosen, and even Kokichi figured out by, you know, getting injured in the next room that it looks like you went and prepared that room too, so whatever.
That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
He's slick, alright. He's like, let me let somebody else make the decision, even though it's so obvious.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow. You were quite vocal about the seance, Kiyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Yep. He's been plotting this for a long
Our
time.
culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it.
That's a creepy
Then
image.
she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko
did such a thing?
Girl, stand up for yourself.
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Oh no. Why you seem confused? There's no way.
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
It is true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea. But does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? Did something like that really happen? Something so cruel. Wait, is this a freaking no intermission? Ah, I should have kept going last episode. Dang. Well, alright guys. Should I end this episode here? Have it a weird short little intermission episode? Nah, we'll keep going. Nope.
Well, now.
Back to these silly folks. Gosh, he's down to 3. Looks like we've reached the intermission segment, which means it's time for our Guess the Victim quiz.
Yeah!
A victim quiz, not a culprit quiz. The only victims are the people who are still watching this drawn-out, boring crap. Oh no, that was Monotaro, sorry. Why are you being such a downer all of a sudden?
It's okay.
It is okay. I am sure everyone is happy. How do you know? They could be skipping this entire conversation for all you know. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm the real victim here, me. Foreshadowing, because you're going to be killed at the end of this trial, maybe? Why are you getting upset? If anything, I'm the real victim. I gotta put up with all this nonsense all the time.
Absolutely right.
That's the right answer, Monodam. Why? He hasn't said anything.
Hey,
Exactly, because there are no victims. Yep, even if you're killed in this killing game, you're a winner. Because then everyone mourns you, and you get tons of posthumous popularity.
Daddy!
Oh, Daddy, you don't need to reveal these kind of behind-the-scenes details.
all right.
Dying makes you more popular? Then we gotta die soon, too. Oh, gosh. You guys are silly. Ha ha ha. Alright, time to resume the trial.
This is my impression of a spooky, scary ghost.
Ah! I'm fine with real ghosts, but impressions of them are too scary!
What the hell?
Remains of a once powerful note.
Logic does not compute.
Right now, on the threshold of an amazing adventure.
You better stop.
Huh? Did you hear something?
Oh.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Wow, you guys are bold. Ignoring him, treating him like crap. Huh.
You know what else is scary? Sweet buns. Yep, tasty, tasty sweet buns.
Right now,
So round, so sweet, so delicious.
That doesn't sound scary at all.
Okay, can we go back to the trial?
I'm scared too. Scared of losing my friends.
He feels so alone.
Huh? Did you hear something?
Oh.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Wow.
he is all that remains of a once powerful.
Am I the only one who doesn't really care for the Mono Cubs in this game? Like, they have moments where they could be kind of funny, but for the most part, I just find them annoying. Like, I'd rather it just be Monokuma.
Answer us, Himiko.
Uh-oh.
You chose the middle room to lure us into your trap, did you not? Then you used that trap to kill Tenko, yes?
Come on, girl.
Well, Donkey Lips, did you kill that twat?
Okay, please. Miu, stop.
Wait. Must be some mistake. No way Himiko is culprit.
This reminds me of the first trial when Shuichi was really quiet when they were accusing him. Ugh, that was so painful.
Then she needs to defend herself. Otherwise, this debate is deadlocked.
I don't care if you gotta use magic to do it, but say something already.
What a smart way to entice her to speak. Bring up magic and she'll definitely say something, right? She'd be like, it's magic. I mean, what? I mean, no, I didn't kill anyone. Huh. Come on, girl.
Are you even listening?
No, I'm not listening.
What?
I don't care anymore. I'm too tired.
No.
Angie died. Tenko died. Why did I have to survive? And now, you're all saying I killed them? I just don't care anymore.
No.
Himiko.
Do whatever. If you want to vote for me, then just go ahead.
Oh my god, no.
The game gets really blah if the suspect isn't into it.
That's not the problem.
Damn it. Don't tell me you've given up.
Come on, Tenko encouraged you before she died. She wants you to fight, to live.
Himiko, don't give up.
Don't you understand? My life is riding on the outcome of this trial!
Just shut up. I told you, I'm too tired. It's all just a big pain. I can't put up with it anymore.
What are you talking about? If you give up here...
You needn't worry.
Oh, shut up.
Himiko was the one who chose that room. Therefore, she is unmistakably the culprit.
Nah, stop that. I'm sorry. A normal person would be, like, worried as heck right now.
Impossible! Himiko would never kill Tenko! Himiko not that kind of person. Gonta can tell by Himiko's face.
Himiko's a little slow, so I don't think she's capable of handling a complicated crime.
Wow. I mean, she's right, but that's really savage. She's like, wow, did you really have to burn me while helping me out? Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this last time. Look at Angie's portrait. Like, what the heck is that supposed to be? Like, are those halo and, I don't know, wings or something? That looks so weird. Why did they even do that instead of an X? Why is she different?
I also think Himiko's not the culprit. Somehow.
Unless it's like,
Atua says I'm too special to have an X on my face. Now I am at peace with Atua.
Either way, we gotta look for more possibilities.
God, I miss doing Angie's voice.
That does seem like rather a pointless quest.
No, it's not. We gotta be strong. Gotta keep thinking. Then we might find new truth. So no give up, Himiko!
Oh, Gonta's such a sweetheart. I gotta hang out with him next chapter. Himiko, I know how you feel. I felt the same way after Kaede died. But we can't give up. We survived. We can't give up. For the sake of everyone who died. Let's encourage her. Poor girl. She's just standing in the middle. Oh.
Performing the seance in that room was Himiko's decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Of the 3 empty rooms.
Oh, come on.
Why did you select the middle one?
Because that's so obvious.
Because you laid your trap there.
Was Trap only in that room? other rooms may be trapped too.
Yes, Kokichi.
Yeah, even if Himiko picked the room, someone else could have set that trap.
Your opinions are empty words.
Okay, so they were on the right track there, but which one do I have to agree with? If the culprit's plan were to make Himiko a suspect, they might have persuaded her to choose that room somehow. But how? And what would that tell us?
Performing the seance
Which one is it?
was Himiko's decision, was it?
No, I think it was what she said.
Steered her in.
What? Yeah, but who? When we were picking the room, Kyo said he didn't care which one.
I was wrong.
Ah, shoot. Then which one is it?
Performing the seance.
Trapped too.
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. There we go.
I agree.
Why did I click on Tsumugi's? I'm stupid. That was on me. This one was on me. But hey, I got a V counter.
It's just like Gonta said. Each room was the same. They were all trapped.
I have no idea why I went with Tsumugi's. My brain wasn't there. Oops.
What? Is that true?
Kokichi will tell you.
Yep. He thought he was dead, but he wasn't. Oh my god, Kokichi, stop.
I was way too careless. Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he just stepped through.
While you were in the room next to the crime scene, you found a loose floorboard, right?
Well, I didn't find it so much as I stepped through it and tripped.
What? Hold on! There was also a loose floorboard in the next room?
Mm-hmm.
So the culprit prepared a trap in all 3 empty rooms, not just the middle one.
Yep.
If the culprit set traps in all the rooms, then they wouldn't need to select a room themselves.
Yep.
So
You
the real
fucked
trap
up,
was
bro.
for someone else to pick a room and take the blame.
Mm-hmm. Ha! You fucked up.
I see. We were caught in the culprit's trap all along.
Mm-hmm.
Especially you!
Mm-hmm.
But now there's no reason to suspect Himiko, right?
Come on, girl.
Himiko, do you remember what Tenko told you?
Here we go. Bring her back to life. Oh, this is the last time I'll do Tenko's voice, so I'll do it. Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else. Please.
Live life facing forward. She said that to you, right? If you give up on living, you'd be betraying her memory.
Mm-hmm. Come on, girl.
We're all trying to keep our promises to the dead.
Aw. Seeing Kaede's face. Ugh.
This trial, it's not just for our lives. It's for everyone who's died as well. That's why we can't give up. This is our responsibility. We live on.
You're right. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
If I gave up here, I wouldn't be able to face Angie or Tenko.
Just imagine a little Angie and a little Tenko on your shoulders saying, "Come on, Himiko, you can do it!"
That's right. So let's do our best.
Alright, I'm not gonna say it's a pain anymore.
Yay!
I won't give up. I'll fight alongside everyone and survive.
There you go.
Do not say everyone. After all, the Blackened is still among us.
Yep, they need to die.
Jeez, there you go. Killing the mood like usual. But damn, well said, Shuichi. That's what I'd expect from my soul bro.
So, bro, that's almost close to saying soulmate. Eh? Eh? I ship it. Sorry.
Your soul, bro?
Hey, shush, shush, Shuichi, just accept it, okay?
Well, anyway, do you think the Blackened this time has some sort of superpower?
Kokichi was like, let me interrupt this moment because they're totally making me jealous. Because I want a soul, bro. And then he's like, Monokuma, you're the only one who understands me. And Monokuma's like, yeah, but you're kind of an annoying prick, so I don't know if I really want to be your soul, bro. He's like, no.
What are you talking about?
Well, as a self-proclaimed expert of stepping through floorboards, isn't it weird that no one stepped through that floorboard before the culprit used it?
No, it's not weird because of the... We were told to avoid walking in certain areas, remember?
Ah, that is a good point.
No.
It must have been barrier magic.
Okay, she's okay now.
Well, that's one possibility, but I think it might have been something else.
Why did no one step on the floorboard until it was used for the murder? Ah, that's it. That must be the reason. Come on, it's the frickin' salt circle, whatever. There we go.
This is it! It's because of the magic circle at the scene of the crime.
Watch your step. Don't break the circle. Yada yada.
Before we began the seance, we were warned not to step on the circle.
Okay, come on now. It's super obvious. And who's the one who told you not to do that? Hmm?
The floorboard in question was within the circle. That's why no one stepped on it.
So the magic circle's purpose was to keep us away from the whole trick.
That was part of the culprit's plans too?
Yeah, very detailed plan. That's right. If that's the case, then the culprit. There's no doubt in my mind. They're the one who killed Tenko. So we're gonna pretty much say, yeah, it's pretty obvious at this point that Korekiyo killed Tenko, but we're supposed to solve Angie's murder, so... did he kill Angie too? Or did Tenko kill Angie? That's the big question right now. Only one person had the opportunity and the motive. Super obvious.
It has to be you!
Here we
Kia.
go.
Was it you?
Whatever are you talking about?
Oh, your voice sounds different.
I'm talking about Tenko's murder.
Kyo?
Why do you suspect me?
Because it's freaking obvious already.
Because you were the one who drew the magic circle. The circle kept us from discovering the seesaw trick. But that's not all it was for. In order to make the murder succeed, variables like Tenko's position and the placement of the cage needed to be defined.
It's so convenient, really. He's so smart.
And those variables were defined by using the magic circle. In short, the circle itself was the most important tool in this murder. Knowing that, the person who drew the magic circle has to be the culprit.
Well, Kyo,
Gosh, too bad this trial's not over.
Answer already! Did you do it?
He was being like, yeah, I did it. So what? Like, well, frick. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's going loco.
What is so funny?
The fact he's gonna get away with it. Unless he killed Angie too.
I was just thinking. So this is how each blackened must have felt. What an intriguing experience this is.
What? An intriguing experience?
But if I am the culprit as you claim, then I stomped on the floorboard, yes?
Yes.
So, do tell. How could I have stomped on the floorboard during that darkened seance?
Because you probably positioned yourself accordingly.
I see. That is problem.
Unless that is made clear, you cannot be certain I am the culprit.
How can you be so calm when you're backed into a corner like this?
Because he's an interesting fellow.
I will explain that in due time. Please answer my question first.
Because he knows he's gonna get away with it, that's why. The culprit stepped on that exact floorboard, even in the darkness. But how? How did they move around in total darkness? I don't know? Shoot. In a room that dark, it's hard to imagine the culprit found the right board. Although, even after I put out the candle, I can move along the wall with my hand.
Wait a minute. Maybe...
What?
Did you figure it out?
I don't know. What did you figure out? That's it. The culprit didn't even have to see at all. They used... touch? Because you said you touched the wall? But what did he touch? Oh, the salt?
the culprit used touch. They didn't see. They felt.
They probably used their foot and they felt where the salt ended or whatever.
That way they could get around in the dark, like how I got to the candle.
Wasn't Seesaw in middle of room? Gonta doesn't think it was near wall.
So they probably used something besides the wall to move then, right?
Yeah?
Were there any other markers within reach?
Of course, the answer to that is there was nothing of the sort.
All I could think is the salt itself. The circle. No, I'm sure there was something. A landmark they could have used to determine where the floorboard was. It must have been at the scene. I know it. Shoot. I don't know. A-M-I... Is it A? Nope. I don't know. M... C? M. Oh, magic circle. Duh, Binks. Ugh. I even said it. I was thinking circle, I wasn't thinking magic. There. Okay, that was tougher. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word magic.
That's it. The magic circle. They used the magic circle. Remember? The magic circle was drawn with salt.
Gosh, this trial, I did so bad in this trial compared to the other two.
The culprit used the salt's texture to feel their way through the dark.
Okay, yeah, that's what I said. So I was right. I just couldn't think of the word magic with circle. I'm stupid.
I see. So Kiyo traced the magic circle with his hands to get to the loose floorboard.
Oh, I see. You drew the magic circle with salt to use it as a guide.
An interesting thought. It is unfortunate that it is so wrong.
Why? What?
Recall the document. What did the magic circle look like?
Based on the document, the magic circle wouldn't reach the corners of the room.
Okay.
So what?
So how did
When
he
the
get...
room was darkened, each of us was in a corner of the room, yes?
Yeah, how did he get from the corner to the circle?
The magic circle didn't reach us, so I could not have followed it, yes?
But you're talking about the magic circle in the document. That doesn't mean the circle you drew was the same.
No, I most definitely drew it exactly the same. I have it perfectly memorized.
So which is it? Is there any way to check?
Can somebody go check?
Not anymore. The magic circle is a complete mess from being trampled on.
Dang nabbit. I see. Another piece of the puzzle. Which is why, like, when I said earlier that when the person jumped on the floorboard, that they would have messed up the circle there. But now, with everybody going in to investigate, they messed it up completely. Ah, shoot. Drawing the circle with salt, all but guaranteed it would be temporary. The investigation itself would have gotten rid of the evidence. Clever. Very.
Everyone, may I have your attention, please?
Okay, did you take pictures or something?
What a pain. We don't have any way to check it now.
Come on, Kibo.
Excuse me, everyone. May I have your attention, please?
Well, I guess there's no point in discussing the magic circle anymore.
Shut up, Kokichi.
Hey, may I have your attention?
There.
Oh, I said cut that out! It's too bright!
I apologize. I just wanted everyone to listen to me.
We were. It was just stupid Kokichi.
About what?
I had Miu add another function to my body, in addition to the flashlight.
Well, aren't you just Mr. Handy Dandy?
What the? No way! Did you really? Stop! You can't! I didn't install it for that purpose!
What did he do?
Please, let me use it. With it, I might be able to save everyone.
Why does she look so worried?
Alright, so what is this function?
She's like, it was meant to please me. It was sexual in nature. He's like, I don't care. You
It's an
cheated
image
on me
recording
anyway.
function.
Yep, image recording. Yep. He's like, you cheated on me anyway with that stupid computer.
Image recording?
Specifically, this function allows me to dispense a printout of my own memory. I'll give it a try. Ready?
Okay, he looks cool in this image. Oh my god. It just comes out of his mouth. Oh my lord.
From your mouth?
I also used magic like that before.
Himiko, I don't need to know what you're talking about.
This printout is my memory of being kicked out of the seance.
And he's able to talk with his mouth full.
Please confirm that the floor of the empty room is clearly visible. Go on, take the picture and see for yourself.
I see it right now. There's a line coming from the outside of the circle. Ha 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 ha. Korekiyo, you fool.
Okay, got it.
I reluctantly took the paper from Kibo's mouth. It was really moist. Ew. So this is the magic circle used for the seance.
Well, Shuichi, do you notice anything?
Yep. Notice anything? Definitely, bro. This time you won't screw me up, stupid game.
There!
There.
This helped a lot, Kibo. Without you, I never would have seen through Kiyo's lie.
Ha ha ha!
My lie.
You just said that you drew the magic circle exactly as it appears in the document. But that's a lie, isn't it? The magic circle at the scene had lines that stretched to the room's corners.
Okay, is it weird, as much as I hate Kokichi, that I feel like he's like the perfect meme creator? So like right now, with the whole, but that's Kiyo's lie, isn't it? I wanted to have like a little soundbite of Kokichi saying, it's a lie! I'm so pissed that he survived that moment, but it was so funny at the same time. Like I keep rewatching it. It's super funny. I wish I had that little clip. It's perfect. It's a lie, it's a lie. Just keep playing that over and over instead of objection. It's a lie.
Which means that you would be able to find the floorboard from anywhere in the room.
Yep. You
So
fucked
it
up,
was
son.
different from the document after all.
Aha.
All because Himiko noticed. And because of Kibo, too.
Yes, give him credit.
Hey, where's my things? I'm the one who installed that function into Kibo.
Okay, whatever. You were useful, I'll admit.
Hey, yeah, what was it you were saying about its purpose?
It was for documenting your sex tapes, isn't it?
Oh, to be honest, the purpose of that image recording function is to monitor my health.
Uh-huh.
Specifically, I make Kibo use that function every day to analyze my turds.
What? Are you serious? Kibo, why do you do that? No. This girl's crazy. No.
You're what? Why?
What the frick? I thought it was gonna be something sexual, not gross.
Shit is a great indicator of intestinal health and gut bacteria quality.
What the hell?
Plus, taking a satisfying shit does wonders for a woman's natural beauty, so...
What is wrong with the creators of these games? In the second game, there was a character obsessed with poop, just like her. What the hell?
See? You're all grossed out! This is why I didn't want to tell you about my plan!
What the hell, girl? You got issues?
Quit talking about your poop. No one cares. Kyo, you killed Tenko, didn't you? Just give up and admit it already.
He will, because he's gonna get away with it.
So, Kyo, if you have any objections, you can...
Your deductions are fiction.
Uh-oh. Well, just cut me off like that. Rude.
Well, since you've given me the option, I will most certainly object.
Oh boy, I thought you were just gonna give in already.
To be honest, it's unimportant, but it may be an amusing diversion.
Unimportant.
Now I shall bear witness to your abilities, Shuichi. Do entertain me.
I don't like that you said that, sir. Here we go.
If you are going to claim I am the culprit, then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage. The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
Okay.
True, we could have placed the sickle there, but we could not have removed it later. Because we weren't the ones who lifted the cage. That was Himiko.
It's the white sheet, right?
The only person who could have collected the sickle is Himiko. But the only people who could have placed the sickle are Kokichi and Shuichi. But in regards to that dilemma, I did not carry the cage, nor I had no opportunity to touch the sickle. So simply put, I am not the killer.
I'm sure that Kyo is the culprit. He had a way of getting that murder weapon. I can prove it.
The only person who could have collected
Changing
no
that.
opportunity to touch the sickle.
There.
I'll cut through your words.
All right. And I got a V counter. Okay.
The only person who could have set up the sickle and retrieved it afterward is Kyo.
Yep.
That was done by covering the cage with a white cloth. You could have secretly placed the sickle when you draped the cloth.
How? Oh my god. Then again, the room was pretty dark.
And retrieved it afterward when you removed the cloth.
Yeah. That's why he made sure, oh no, we have to do this before we check on Tenko.
Then, while everyone was distracted, you discreetly dropped the sickle under the floor.
Wonderful! That's exactly correct.
What the frick was that? You didn't even let him finish speaking. Whoa. I didn't get scared, but I was like, what the frick? What? Like, I didn't expect this. I don't know how to react. But, yeah, he's not worried at all.
It's correct? Then why don't you give up already?
The trick I put so much work into is just wasted effort now. Alas.
So, it was you? You killed Tenko?
Why, you crazy frick?
Let me guess. You'll never forgive me. Himiko, you must hate me so very much.
Yep.
Maybe you'd feel better if I was executed by Monokuma. But unfortunately for you, that won't happen.
Oh, you slick mofo.
Because if you vote for me, every spotless, including myself, will die.
What you talking about, Kyo?
What you talking about, Willis?
You still don't understand? I killed Tenko. That is the truth. But it is meaningless in this class trial.
Meaningless?
You mean Monokuma's extra rule, right?
Which is total BS, by the way. Monokuma, wouldn't you have been happy to kill 2 people, you know? Yep. First come, first served.
You see, I killed Tenko, but not Angie. For us, Tenko's death is nothing but a trivial issue.
Jerk.
Because the blackened in this trial is the culprit who killed Angie.
I hope you did it too, so that you can pay for both.
Trivial issue? No, that's gotta be a lie. You probably killed Angie too.
That is simply not possible. Recall that I was unable to enter Angie's lab.
Oh, only student council members and Kokichi could enter research lab.
How could I have possibly killed Angie when I couldn't even enter her lab?
We can figure that out. No one else could have done it besides you. If you're the one who killed Tenko, you gotta be the one who killed Angie.
I understand how you feel, Himiko, but maybe we can discuss this rationally and calmly. There is a non-zero possibility that Kiyo is telling the truth.
So you understand how she feels. I see. Wait, robots can understand human feelings?
Kokichi, will you leave that poor boy alone?
Of course I understand. I worked really hard to understand.
Hey, why are you getting all worked up, Kibo? Chill, dude.
That's enough! It's voting time! I'm gonna vote for him!
Uh-oh.
Voting for me will only help the one who murdered Angie.
Isn't Kiyo culprit?
Is this where we're split now?
Of course I'm not. This case was an error on my part.
An error? What?
Monokuma added that rule after both bodies were found, yes? How was I to know that the trial would only be for Angie's killer?
That's true. So, you're just a lucky bastard, then you're just gonna get away with this?
Had I known, I certainly wouldn't have killed Tenko.
Then why did you kill Tenko, though? I don't understand.
You're lying! You killed Tenko and Angie!
Now hold on. Jumping to conclusions here is dangerous.
We should talk it out more. This case might have juicy plot twists waiting to happen.
Yeah?
Nuts to that! Any way you look at this case, Kiyo is obviously the culprit.
Oh, I see what's happening. So there's people who already want to vote, and they want to say Kiyo did both, or that he killed Angie. And then there's people who are like, no, we should keep talking. And actually, one of those people is actually Kokichi, and then the other one is Kiyo. And who else? Maybe Kibo? I haven't heard other people talk yet, though.
Yeah, there's sort of no other way to look at it.
No, it's too dangerous to vote before we arrive at a logical decision.
Okay.
The culprit's one of you!
Oh?
Wowee! This argument is getting intense!
At times like this...
Here we go.
The Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial ground!
Oh boy. I have to admit, this is my favorite part of the trials so far, has been the split decision part. The music is really cool, and it's like an interesting mechanic, so I like it. This should be interesting.
Yippee! I've been waiting for this!
Looks like Kokichi likes it too. Oh no.
Why were you waiting for it?
Kiyo confessed to killing Tenko, but insists he didn't kill Angie. We won't forgive Kiyo for what he did, but we can't vote until we know the facts. I have to pin down the evidence and convince everyone. Alright, here we go. God, I love this. The way they rise up and the music. It's so cool. There's so few of us left, though. just, what, floating in midair? That's so scary, though. Vote for Korekiyo. Vote now. Oh no! Why? I have such little team members.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie.
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kyo killed Angie.
Okay.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
I got this! But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
The katana was found in Kyo's lab.
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
So Kyo did kill Tenko, but he not blackened?
Blackened.
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second blackened we need to find.
Why there's so little of us?
He was planning to use the new rule to protect himself all along.
Kyo! Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death. Can't we just vote now?
I got this! Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
Okay. I B X A.
This is our answer!
It's so weird. Everybody we usually have on our side was not on our side right there.
It would be a mistake to vote before we've completely solved Angie's murder.
So weird. We actually had Kokichi and Kyo on our side. Like, what? And that was so strange how we had so many people that we had to cycle through twice. That was very interesting compared to before.
And there's still the mystery of Tenko's murder.
Mystery? What kind of mystery?
Well, Kyo's confession derailed our conversation a bit. But we still have to go over one of the clues found at Tenko's crime scene.
What?
I believe it might even have something to do with Angie's murder.
They're gonna ask me and I don't know. Who's... Is it the dried blood? I don't know. Yes, the outlying piece of evidence at Tenko's murder scene. Ah, shoot. I have no idea. I feel like it's the dried blood. Where is that? Where is it? We haven't discussed it much.
This is it!
Yes, I was right. Okay.
The blood stain found under the floor. Maki and I found it during the investigation.
Because Angie had an injury on her forehead. How was she under there? Getting some suspicions right now. Was Angie working with Kyo? Like they were planning on committing a murder together? No. I don't know. Because how else did she get that injury then?
It was beneath the floorboard that the culprit stomped on.
Is that Tenko's blood?
No.
That bloodstain was too far from Tenko's corpse to have been hers.
Also, the bloodstain was already dry when we found it. But the blood from Tenko's body hadn't even begun to dry yet.
Well, that's weird. Why was that bloodstain the only dry one?
The blood stain under the floorboard was dry because it happened before the seance.
That's it!
Yeah.
The bloodstain wasn't from Tenko's murder. It was there before we started the seance.
Before the seance?
That should make it clear whose blood it was. The bloodstain from before the seance has to be them. Is it Korekiyo or Angie's? The bloodstain came from Kyo from before the seance. When he was setting up the seesaw, he might have injured himself. That's what I was thinking. That wouldn't not be a possibility, but that would be a super boring answer. What? That was wrong? Then it was Angie. Dang it. Give us an answer after you deducted better. Why? That was a possibility, though. So stupid.
I was wrong.
Oh, come on. That's bullshit. Okay, so then it was Angie.
That's it.
But why?
That bloodstain wasn't Tenko's. It was Angie's.
Why was blood from Angie at the scene of Tenko's murder?
So weird.
Yeah, wasn't Angie killed in her research lab?
Just because we found her body there doesn't mean she was killed there.
True, but how did she end up down there?
Ah, I guess that's possible.
If Angie wasn't killed in her lab, then that opens up a lot more possibilities. We assumed that only council members could have killed Angie since her body was in her lab. But if she died somewhere else, then we can't suspect just the council members anymore.
Yeah.
So the culprit didn't enter her lab, but waited for her to come out of it?
Guess.
I'm not sure if the culprit waited for her, but they probably killed her when she came out. Well, I thought that was more likely from the start. So I went to places Angie might have gone and checked all 3 empty rooms.
Why would she have gone there, though?
Places she might have gone? Why did you check the empty rooms then?
The empty rooms were the only places I could think of that Angie would go.
But why? To perform the ritual?
Did Angie have business in rooms?
It seems Kokichi's up to his usual misleading nonsense again.
I do lie a lot, and I could be lying right now too. But I'm pretty sure someone's panicking right now because of my lie.
Ha, Korekiyo. Angie left her lab on her own and headed to the room where she was killed. Is Kokichi's statement true, or... I don't know?
The art research lab is not where Angie was killed.
Okay.
She was killed in the empty room instead.
She left her lab on her own?
But why would she go into an empty room? There shouldn't have been anything in there.
Except for candles.
Candle?
That's it! She wanted a candle!
What? Why?
Keep herself awake at night.
No.
She would drip hot wax on her body.
That sounds like something only you would do, Mew.
Why is that blue? Yes, let's agree with that. What did Kokichi see? Something Angie did. There has to be a clue there.
The art research...
Oh, I get it.
She was killed in the empty room instead.
She left her lab on...
But why would she go into an empty room?
I get it.
There shouldn't have been anything
To
in
burn the Necronomicon.
Except for candles.
Very...
That's it!
I agree.
Okay. Yeah, she was supposed to burn it for the ritual, I see.
That's it. Angie went to that room to get a candle.
Oh, because it's on the same floor. I was about to say, isn't that out of the way? But no, it was on the same floor.
Yeah, for kinky wax play.
Oh, shut up, you.
No. Angie was going to use it for the ritual. According to the Necronomicon, to resurrect the dead.
Okay, burn it to ashes, yes.
Then, did she seek out a candle so she could burn the book?
That's right. There's nothing to start a fire with in Angie's lab. So she went to go get a candle from one of the empty rooms.
Wow. I never even considered that. Ah, interesting.
And that's when the culprit attacked her.
That's why there was dried blood underfloor.
Okay, so what I'm wondering... Did they kill her because she just happened to go in there while they were preparing? Like, if it's Kyo, he was busy preparing for the seance murder. Because I think he was already pushing for us to do the seance, right? So, she just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time and he decided to kill her too? Then why did he bother going through with Tenko's? You know what I mean? All I could think is that he's like, well, shoot, I went through all this trouble. I'd be stupid not to use it. You know? Huh. Interesting.
Which means Angie was attacked in the same room the seance was held. Bravo, Himiko. Well done for choosing that room for the seance.
Oh, jeez.
If we hadn't done the seance in that room, then Tenko's murder would have been in another room.
Right.
If that happened, no one would have discovered Angie's bloodstain under the floorboards.
Very true.
That's right. Shuichi and I only checked under the floorboards where Tenko died.
Yep, it's all thanks to Himiko for choosing the same room as Angie.
True. Angie could have just gone into the first room she saw, which would have been the room on the left. But no, she went to the one in the middle, so interesting.
This must be Atua's will. Or maybe the power of magic.
He's trying to suck up to Himiko now.
It's neither. I just picked one.
Hold on. You're all acting as though you've proven that is fact already.
Okay, you definitely killed both of them. That's what is happening, so you're screwed, dude.
You claim Angie was murdered in the empty room, and then moved to the lab? Then how do you explain the large amount of blood in the lab?
Because there was 2 injuries. So, the forehead injury, he must have hit her in the forehead over there. And then the actual stabbing at the back of the neck happened in this room.
It may be possible to carry a body, but blood cannot be moved.
I think she was still alive after the attack in the empty room. She was killed after she was carried to her lab.
That means the culprit attacked her twice. I have evidence of that. This would be the forehead injury?
This is it!
There we go.
The fatal wound was a cut to the back of her neck from a katana. But she also showed signs of blunt force trauma, and I think I know why. After Angie was knocked unconscious in the empty room, she was killed in her lab.
I see. So that puddle of blood is from the killing blow. Ha! It's all clear now. Angie was attacked in the empty room, carried to her lab, and it was there that the culprit finished her off.
Yeah, nice job repeating what I said, pretty much.
All clear. This is all clear. What are you all talking about?
Oh, he sounds very upset now.
All clear? What is all clear?
Oh, jeez. He seems very worked up right now. You gonna calm down just a little bit, buddy? Just a little itty bit.
What are you? All clear?
Uh-oh. Is this gonna be my least favorite part? The armament or whatever?
What are you all... You what? What are...
I will not fear. I will not back
What?
down.
What was that? Kyo?
Sweet Korekiyo, calm yourself.
What? What? He finally took off the mask and he's a woman? He even talked differently too. And he's talking to himself? Wow, he's a very pretty she. Okay. Gender reveal? What? I don't know what to say. Wow. I was imagining either something really hideous underneath the mask or something very handsome. But beautiful woman instead. Wow. What the hell? He looks so different. Even his eyes look a little different to me for some reason. I don't know.
Their words are all hollow. There is no meaning to any of them.
What the hell? Split personality? What? The way she is talking, I'm so confused.
You must teach these ignorant children a lesson.
Capricorn having to do this voice. Oh my god. Okay.
Yes, you're right. Okay, I'll teach them.
God, he looks so different. He just quickly pulls up the face mask. And what the frick? Oh my lord.
What the hell are you mumbling about? You're giving me the goddamn willies!
Okay. Considering what I know about this Resident Evil game that you love so much, Louisa, I totally understand why you love Korekiyo now. What the hell?
Not yet. Nothing is clear at all.
Even the way he touches his body like that, the pose, it's kind of feminine. Huh. Interesting.
It's full of doubts, of mysteries, of a dense, impenetrable fog!
Okay, you are loco. Okay.
Nothing is clear at all!
Oh, jeez. Oh, this again? I thought we were... Hold on. What are we
Angie
using?
was attacked in the empty room first, and then carried into the research lab? Impossible! Impossible! That's nothing but a delusion! You intend to poison our minds with your delusions?
Okay.
It's no delusion. Angie's 2 external wounds tell the story. After she was struck in the empty room, she was carried to the art research lab and then killed.
You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains. Even if you wipe them down later, there'd still be traces of evidence left behind. But there was no evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
Evidence. Bloodstains. On the white sheet? Was that one of our... Is that one of our... Wait, I have to look at our evidence. Which always screws me up when I gotta look through the evidence. The culprit carried Angie in such a way that wouldn't leave any blood behind. I'm sure there was a clue at the scene that proves it. In order to confront Kyo with that evidence. Can't be thrown off by his pleas.
Evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
Is that it?
I'll cut through your words.
Okay. Alright. I was confused because there was 2 yellow statements. Whew.
There was evidence left at the scene. The bloody tape under Angie's body.
What?
Yep. With her hair.
It was wrapped around her head to stop the bleeding while she was being carried.
Oh, I see. That's why it had hair on it. Okay.
Bloody tape? Gonta didn't notice at all.
It was under the body. It's most likely evidence the culprit should have gotten rid of.
Mm-hmm.
But since it was hidden, the culprit didn't notice and failed to dispose of it.
It must have fallen as the fatal blow was dealt, and ended up under her body.
It must have been Atua who did that for us.
What? Atua? How long are you going to keep that up?
I want to see your face again. I'm so intrigued.
Now we know most of the mystery behind Angie's murder.
I'm convinced there's only one person who could have killed Angie.
Yep. Of course it's gonna be Korekiyo again. You screwed, dude.
It has to be you.
It's you, Kyo. You killed Angie.
What the fuck? So it's true!
Well, that was obvious. Such a boring, obvious answer.
Yokichi saying what we all are thinking with this whole chapter. Like, it was so friggin' obvious about Tenko and Angie gonna be dead in this chapter. I just wasn't sure who would be victim and who would be killer. And then the fact it was Korekiyo, it was very obvious. You guys got so much attention in the beginning of the chapter. We found your labs, you were talking more. So yeah, it's so sad when it's obvious. Although it was so obvious to the point that I was questioning myself and doubting and wondering, was it Kibo or was it Himiko? But no.
You killed both of them. Why did you kill them?
In terms of pure logic, only one victim was necessary to win.
Yeah, usually the person who kills two people is like frickin' psycho, honestly.
Why? Why you killed them both?
I think one of the murders was an accident.
The one with Angie, I'm sure.
An accident?
That's right. It wasn't part of the plan.
Because she just happened to go in there.
Huh? Which one?
A murder that was an accident. Angie's.
That's it! Angie's murder was an accident.
What? Tenko wasn't accident?
Nope.
That's right. Kyo originally planned to kill someone with a seesaw trick.
He's like, I must use the seesaw trick. Yes, yes. And then Angie comes along. He's like, God dang it. Or he's like, Atua, dang it. And then he said, you know what? F it. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to use my seesaw trick.
But while he was making preparations in the empty room, Angie walked in. So he decided to kill her in order to keep her from talking.
Poor Angie.
She just happened to walk in on the culprit setting up and was killed.
I remember that happening in the second game too, kind of.
Then you should have just stopped there. Once he killed Angie, there was no reason for him to kill Tenko.
No, there really wasn't. Except that he wanted to use it because he's like, I worked so hard. It was such a brilliant plan, even though we solved that murder first.
You only needed to kill one for this game. Killing two is pointless.
Yeah.
If you get bonus points for killing more, then sure. Otherwise, it leaves more clues behind.
Indeed.
Why, Kyo? Why you kill two of our friends?
Because he's a douche.
What on earth are you talking about? No, I'm not the culprit.
You gonna claim your split personality did it?
So, why is everyone looking at me like I am?
Uh-oh.
Why? Why are they? Why is it? Calm yourself, Korekiyo.
What the frick? Every time you do this. Oh, dear Lord, what is going on?
Yes. You mustn't raise your voice. You mustn't stutter. You mustn't lose composure. You mustn't become flustered. You mustn't waver.
Oh my Lord.
Look at their horrid faces. This sorry lot is not worth agonizing over. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Jesus.
There he goes again. What the hell's wrong with him?
A lot.
It almost seems like he's talking with someone.
Someone? He's just talking to himself. And why the hell is he wearing lipstick?
No matter how loudly you protest, this is a trivial matter. I never acknowledge your allegations. Not a single one of them.
Oh God, it's coming, isn't it? It always stresses me out because I'm not good with like... I like rhythm games, but I notice I'm not that good with them with this controller. And I've tried it with the keyboard and I'm even worse with that. Like with Wii, when I played rhythm games before, it was on like the DS or whatever, and it was just much easier there. But yeah, having to press buttons that are coming at you really quickly, and then it's like, oh shoot, I have to do it to the beat and have to remember which button is which. I'm just not good at it, so I always struggle at that part. Plus, last time, apparently you have to hold some of them, and I'm like, oh shoot, I was supposed to hold it? I didn't know.
For you see, there is no evidence that I killed Angie. No, I will not acknowledge it.
Okay.
I will only acknowledge facts, true events. I won't acknowledge fiction, mystery. I won't acknowledge your deductions or guesses.
Dude, you're just gonna live in denial then, until you die. Which will be soon.
Well said. Good job, Korekiyo.
Oh my god. It looks so weird.
Yes, thanks.
Creeps me the fuck out!
Yep. No evidence. There's no evidence that he killed Angie? There has to be, right? I'm thinking, what is the final evidence gonna be then?
You're wrong. There is evidence.
Okay.
What? You do realize bluffs like that won't work, yes?
The weapon that was used to knock Angie unconscious in the empty room.
What was it?
That weapon tells us the whole story, Kyo.
Can't be the scythe. So what did he use? I don't know.
That's not possible. I think you may have misunderstood. Apologize. Come on, apologize.
Apologize. Apologize. Apologize.
Uh-oh. Is he the Leon of this game?
Come on.
Yep.
Apologize. Apologize, apologize. Apologize, 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 apologize.
Oh god. It was funny in the first game when Leon did that. Ow, 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 ow.
Seriously, what the hell's happening?
I have no idea what's happening with Kyo. But I know what weapon he used on Angie. I have to prove it to him. What? Oh shit, here we go. What
I
the?
have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong.
Yes, I'm not the culprit.
So I have nothing to confess.
Shoot.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong.
Yes, I'm not the culprit.
So I have nothing to confess. Why must you force your delusions on us?
Your logic. That's merely a delusion.
I don't know.
Well said, Korekiyo. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us?
Your logic. That's merely a delusion.
Well said, Korekiyo.
I don't get it.
To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us?
Your logic. That's merely a delusion.
Well said, Korekiyo. To continue...
I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Korekiyo speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Apologize.
Fuck.
Apologize. Apologize.
Apologize. Apologize. Apologize.
I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Korekiyo speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Too fast.
Apologize. Apologize.
Apologize.
Apologize. Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Korekiyo speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Apologize.
Come on.
Apologize.
Apologize.
Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
Korekiyo speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Apologize. Apologize. Apologize.
Apologize.
Finally.
You have no proof that Korekiyo is the killer.
Remove floorboard.
It is
Oh, that's why it had blood in it. That's right. What the hell? Why do you look like that? Jeez. Is he
here. Kyo
male?
hit Angie with the same floorboard used in the seesaw trick.
Okay, so it was hard trying to like realize like, did I just have to press and hold? I gotta figure out the whole holding thing. But I got through it somehow. Jeez. So he used the same floorboard, I see.
I see. And how do you know the floorboard was the murder weapon?
There was a small patch of dried blood on the underside of the floorboard.
Angie's blood?
Blood that spattered there when the culprit struck Angie with the board. But that's not the only evidence that she was hit with that floorboard. There's also the bloodstain under the floor to consider. For that to be there, the floorboard must not have been in place at the time of the attack.
I see.
Good point. Had the floorboard been in place, her blood wouldn't have splattered beneath it.
Kyo's earlier confession is further evidence that the floorboard was used.
How?
If the weapon used to hit Angie is the floorboard from the seesaw trick,
It means the culprit knew about the seesaw, so the same person killed Tenko and Angie.
There we go. I still want an explanation about him. Jeez.
I believe that while Kyo was setting up the seesaw, he was holding the board when Angie walked in.
And he cold-cocked her with a floorboard.
Yep.
all you can do now is accept it. You even confessed to Tenko's murder already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's true. This is the truth.
Looks like we're almost at the end. All right, Shuichi, I'll leave the finale to you. Bring down the house.
Dude, I've been doing all the work. Shut up.
Shuichi, please, put an end to this.
Oh, Himiko.
For Angie and Tenko's sake. End this class trial.
I understand. I'll go over everything one more time. Kyo, I want you to confess. No, I will force you to confess.
Nice. Nice. There we go. I always forget how to play this part, though. There we go.
This is the truth of the case! Let's look back at the first murder. It was late last night. The culprit was in the empty room on the 4th floor. The culprit was preparing the seance murder they had planned. To use the floorboard as a seesaw, they had to cut the crosspiece supporting it. The plan was to make the same preparations for all 3 empty rooms. This would divert suspicion away from the culprit and whoever picked a room. To cut the crosspieces, they needed a saw. I imagine they got one from the warehouse. They were planning to cut the crosspieces in all 3 rooms.
Angie.
Lulululu, atua.
However, when the culprit was working on the middle room, the unexpected happened.
Oh, Angie. Rip.
Angie walked into that room and saw the culprit making their preparations.
Who's in here? Atua says.
Bam. Dead.
She needed some fire for the ritual and had gone to the room for a candle. At that point, the culprit had not finished the setup and was just cutting crosspieces. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied to some kind of murder plan.
No, but she would have been suspicious as heck.
But now that Angie had seen it, the culprit couldn't use the seesaw trick. Any other person might have just given up, but not our culprit.
No, 'cause he's an idiot.
Huh? I'm alone? No? What happened?
The culprit took the floorboard they loosened and struck the unsuspecting Angie in the head.
How dare you strike a Tua's messenger, you fool!
The culprit did not want to give up on their plan and had to improvise. They wrapped duct tape around Angie's injury to stop the bleeding. Then they picked up her unconscious body and carried her to a research lab.
Look at me, I am tiny and light as a feather. Aren't you lucky you can carry me?
While she was unconscious, the culprit hurried to tie up this loose end. But because they were in a hurry, they made a crucial oversight. They didn't notice the duct tape had peeled off and was under Angie's body. Without that evidence, we may never have figured out the culprit's trick. Carrying the supplies they needed, the culprit returned to the ultimate art lab.
I gotta give him props though, for everything being done spur of the moment regarding Angie's death. The whole hanging the effigies upside down and then spinning the katana, all that crazy stuff. Like, wow, super creative, dude. Props to you.
Locked the front door from inside. And took out the katana they brought from their own lab.
Gosh, if he hadn't killed Tenko, he could have gotten away with Angie's murder probably. Because nobody would have figured out that she was murdered in that other empty room, you know? Fool. Ouch.
They then stabbed Angie in the back of the neck, finally killing her. Then, to further confuse us, the culprit attempted to make a locked room mystery.
He's like, damn it, why did you have to take Kaede's actual weight into consideration? I'm just kidding. But she looks really heavy. It's like, hey, these are big boobs, alright? Give respect to them.
First, they used rope from the warehouse and hung 4 effigies upside down.
And her skirt doesn't even flip upside down either. It's a gravity-defying skirt.
For this. To overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere. And the other was the key to locking the room. The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy near the rear entrance.
He's like, damn those boobs. They gave me such a hard time.
And spun the effigy around to twist up the rope. After enough turns, the culprit let go and headed for the rear door. Once released, the effigy began spinning, and the gold leaf katana with it. The handle of the katana then hit the sliding lock, locking the door. A difficult trick, but remember that the lock was so loose it moved at the slightest touch. The culprit also would have had the opportunity to attempt it many times. Once complete, the door was locked, but the duct tape was left behind. Perhaps the culprit noticed it, but by that point, it was too late. The room was sealed. There was no way for them to get back inside. Then, This morning, we opened up the room and discovered Angie's body.
Bang.
But the culprit wasn't finished. They wanted one more murder.
Greedy.
To do that, they manipulated us into performing this seance. Of the 3 empty rooms, the middle one was chosen for the seance. I was invited by Kokichi to take Kibo's place in the seance.
Poor Kibo.
Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never imagined it would get her killed. To perform the seance, the culprit claimed they needed something for Tenko. A small stone that Himiko had brought from the courtyard. Tenko, at the culprit's request, bowed her head until it was touching the stone. That position was instrumental in making sure the murder went as planned. Next, Kokichi and I placed the iron cage over Tenko, in the middle of the magic circle. The culprit then volunteered to drape the white cloth over the iron cage.
I like how they pretty much threw it on top of her.
We didn't realize it at the time, but that was a deliberate decision by the culprit.
Yeah, let me see how he actually put it in there.
They needed to set up the murder weapon that was used to kill Tenko.
Actually, it looks smaller than I thought. Okay.
While they were covering the cage with a cloth, they secretly placed the sickle.
Oh, through the holes. Okay, I see now. Yikes.
Finally, 4 of us placed the wooden statue on top of the cage. The culprit used the weight of the statue to keep the murder weapon in place. After the preparations were complete, we began the seance. In complete darkness, we each stood in one corner and sang the Caged Child song. When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to enter the medium.
Interesting how he had to keep singing the whole time he was murdering.
But our culprit had another plan, to commit a murder in the darkness. Right after we started singing, the culprit began making their way toward Tenko. It would have been quite difficult to do in total darkness, but our culprit had a guide. They used the lines of the magic circle drawn with salt. The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them along. And when the culprit reached the center of the circle, they found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off the night before. Then lifted up their foot and stomped down hard on the floorboard.
Poor Tenko.
The floorboard lifted up like a seesaw.
Jesus, that's so ridiculous.
And pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by the sickle on the top of the cage. She was killed right before our eyes, and we didn't even see it. After committing the crime, the culprit followed the salt back to their corner. Finished the ritual and had us light the candles. We followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment used for the seance. And discovered Tenko's body. And while we were all focused on the body, the culprit picked up the sickle.
And dropped it through that hole, I see.
And dropped it under the floor through the hole in the corner of the room.
Yep.
Ironically, the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us. The culprit had planned the murder so that we would unintentionally destroy some evidence. That evidence was the magic circle that the culprit used to navigate in the dark.
But thanks to Kibo, he failed.
However, the culprit didn't know that Kibo had taken a picture. He really saved us. Without that, we wouldn't know what changes were made to the circle. But now we know for certain, and we know the culprit drew the magic circle.
Well, there we go.
Korekiyo Shinguji, the ultimate anthropologist. You're the culprit behind these murders.
You fool. You strange man. Woman. Manly woman. I don't know.
That's where my detective work leads us. It all fits.
Well, that's, something else.
Sweet Korekiyo. There are times when it's necessary to admit defeat. Admit? Yeah. Okay.
So you finally admit you did it.
Unfortunately. Yes. Yes. It's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. My one regret. My only regret.
What, you gonna say that the seance failed? Of course it was gonna fail if you're gonna kill Tenko.
Was not being able to make 100 friends.
Wait, what? Are you like a social climber on Facebook or something? What the heck?
100 friends?
It was my dream to make 100 friends.
What is wrong with you, sir?
Oh, it's so unfortunate! I was so close to 100!
What?
What are you talking about? I do not understand a word of this.
Loco.
Who gives a fuck? Let's vote for this kooky bastard and be done with this already!
Roger that! One voting time! Coming up!
The heart racing excitement as...
Okay.
The heart racing excitement!
As a blackened and a spotless finally face off!
Huh.
It's voting time!
Well, you've been left out, Monodam. They hate your guts. Wonder why it took so long for them to hate you after you killed their siblings, but okay. Alright, let's vote. I mean, clearly Tenko killed herself, like they said earlier. No. Thank goodness it wasn't that.
Now then, it seems the voting has finished. Let's see the result.
These things are never suspenseful. They're just a big waste of time. Yep. At least he didn't vote for Shuichi.
Chosen as the blackened. Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
I loved how petty Kurumi was as she voted for Shuichi last trial. Yay! Now we're gonna get an explanation for how psycho he is. Let's see how horribly I did in this trial. I struggled. I mean, there was a few times that I don't think it was my fault, but I will admit there were some that I screwed up. I still got an A? Wow, you guys are very forgiving. There was only one section I got a B. Where was that part that I really screwed? I thought it was towards the beginning. Hey, I got a back route on that one. Woo! Alright, not bad considering. Oh, wow! Of course, I did not even see the Monokuma figure. I'm sure you guys might have seen it. I never see those things. But you know, I don't really care, so it's fine. So that will be it for this episode. Oh god, this is a long one. Thank you guys. I have a lot of editing to do. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to seeing the explanation for why Korekiyo did what he did and why he's a she sometimes. What's going on with his mental state. I'm very curious. So anyway, until next time, have a nice day.